Hi, my name is Alexander Nicholas, and I will be presenting you my capstone project that is called Breez Airlines. It's an airline that focuses on flight anxiety and not really being able to fully get rid of it, but doing what we can to reduce it by a large amount. Flight anxiety is something that doesn't really personally affect me or like me, my person, but in my personal life, I know people with flight anxiety. My mom and my cousin, and then I have a few friends that have it, but they also suffer from other types of anxiety that I will get into later. But um, flight anxiety really doesn't affect me personally. I really wanted to tackle this because of the people in my life and because I feel like this project specifically will allow me to branch out and have a, better, I guess, portfolio, I guess you can say, but really just because, like, I feel like I don't really have that many serious things in my portfolio, like when it comes to like anxieties and types of disorders like that. And I really wanted to add something. So, fall anxiety. Fall anxiety comes in many symptoms, but the summer sim the summarized version of them, I guess you can say, or like the simplified version. There we go. Simplified. Uh, nausea. B, headaches and like chest aches, and then C would just be like super duper nervousness, and then like scratching and clawing at the chair, and you're just like super uneasy or kind of queasy a little bit. But there's many other ways flight anxiety can be simplified. There's different like symptoms. You could have like super sweaty palms. You could be sweating yourself. Um, your head could be you could be spinning. Things like that. There's many types of symptoms for flight anxiety. Speaking of flight anxiety, 40% of the population of the U.S. has flight anxiety. Um, I'm like, I don't want to say luckily, but I'm not part of the 40%. But once again, I know people, my mom and my family and my friends. I know there's somebody in class that has it. So it's kind of like something that doesn't really get talked about enough because flying is a big travel like uh, resource, I guess you can say, because you can't really drive everywhere, and once you have to cross waters, there's only one thing you can do, and that's fly. So when it's time for people to fly, it's really hard for them and really unable. Something that you do like you don't even think about doing. For you, it's really hard for someone else to do. Uh, and that's really with basic everyday life too, because 60% of people that have flight anxiety also have some other type of disorder that's or anxiety disorder, sorry, some type of other anxiety disorder. So it's like a combination of anxiety uh, overlapping on top of each other, and yeah, it's just horrible for some people. So let's get out of the dumps, I guess you could say. Who are we? Um, We're Breeze Airline. We're a new airline that focuses its design on reducing flight anxiety by using calming colors and patterns. Um, we also are going to design packaging that uses those colors and patterns that make people feel more comfortable and make them feel at ease and just make them feel seen. So our name Breeze came from a kind of line of other names. I kind of wanted to go with Solace Airlines, Feeling Flights, Clear Air, Clear Port, Tranquil Airs, Warm Skies, Lax Landings, like relax but lax landings. All of that sounded cool and all that, but it didn't really just have that feel and something I can make a tagline off of. But you know what did? Breeze. Breeze Airlines, feel the breeze, or you just got off the plane. Ooh, that was a breeze. Things like that. It just feels just so nice. Just breeze, like just breeze. So our goal as an airline, we want passengers with flight anxiety to feel seen, and we want to reduce their effects of flight anxiety. Um, we're here for you as Breeze Airline. We're here for you. I know in the airline world, flight anxiety doesn't get talked about as much as it should. Uh, I don't really hear it ever whenever I take flights. I take a lot of flights to be honest, but I don't really ever hear it. So the fact that I never really ever hear it, I think it's kind of a problem because I know people. Once again, I know people that have it, and I feel like they're not getting treated as fairly as somebody without having it because they don't even care about them at all. They don't even have accommodations for them. They don't even feel seen at all. So we want people to feel seen. So speaking of feeling seen, these are things that I seen that help me uh, narrow down my type of design. As you can see, it's all blue and white, blue and white, blue and white, blue and white. That is mainly because when I was doing research before I ever like interviewed anyone, uh, I looked up and seen like the type of colors that like are like calming colors and like they reduce anxiety. It is blue and white. Kind of crazy. Uh, Also, which is also kind of crazy. Me personally, when it comes to me designing things, I tend to go for red and black, kind of loud colors. So blue and white is kind of the opposite, and it kind of also helps me with my portfolio and just like my real life, and also with this project, to where it's blue and white, blue and white, blue and white, calming, but it's also blue and white, blue and white, blue and white for me because it's different. So I wanted to go with a blue and white, clean, like and concise type of design, to where we get some type of like calmingness. Here is my logo sketches. We have the Breeze to the right, top right. That's like the word marks I was trying out. I was kind of messing around. I kind of want to do some type of cloud effect or a fade effect or some type of like a cursive effect. I don't really, yeah. The bottom is like the bees. The bottom right, the bottom right one. That is the bee that you see to the left. Uh, I got that bee from when I was a kid. I used to play a game called uh, NBA Street V3. It's a basketball game, and their like logo of like the V kind of reminded me of that. It had like a crown on top and all that, but it kind of reminded me of like the bee. And like whenever I was like drawing in cursive, I kind of like wanted to have like some type of motion of like a flight kind of. So I had like it curve over and have some type of curves, with like a signature kind of. It looks, yeah. But to the left are like the digitized word marks I was trying to test out. And obviously it's not my logo, but it's just the preliminary type of designs. Here's also some more preliminary designs of mock-ups and brands. I or like brand design. I have a poster to the right, the feel that poster, and then I have the two pamphlets that I ended up making for the art installation. Sorry. And then I have the things to the left, which is just the packaging for the brand. It's just the packaging of like early startup planes and the pillows and chip bags and just the food box. Here, speaking of brand, here is my brand guidelines. We have the type and the color palette. The color palette is because of the blue and white I wanted. And the type I felt like was the most like most accurate representation of my brand for like simple, concise, and just nice type, I guess you can say. And then the secondary type is for the use for like the logo with the signature type of look right here. So the ease is part of that type of from the same type family, and it just has like the curvature and all that. So here's our finalized branding. We have the poster to the left, which it is the poster of my brand, which you'll see anytime, like for like a poster or anything. Just feel the breeze, something nice, a nice little tagline. We also have two pamphlets, things that would be sticking inside of like on the plane whenever you get on there. You'll have a pamphlet that tells you like or like food lists and all that, but instead we have like a encouragement and kind of like nice and cool, like you need to breathe, some type of like acronym kind of thing. And then we also have like our what do we have, like our amenities type of thing. So it's nice little cool things. This is our packaging. We have food boxes, things that you'll see on the flight whenever you get on there. The gradient design is a design I wanted to incorporate. You'll see it later in the other packaging. It's just two different blues, and it's kind of like blurry, kind of, and I like it. I love it. Uh, the squiggly pattern that you see is a pattern that I came up with after I did my interviews. I talked to people. I was like, hey, what are some patterns that you feel like would make you more calming if you saw it on the flight or just anywhere in our branding? And they said they want something squiggly and like curvy. And I said, okay, that's not really descriptive, but I think I understand what you mean. And I kind of made that. I just thought of shapes and just like put it together and messed around with it, and that's how we got it. Here's the gradient design I was talking about earlier of the blue to white and just the blue to blue. Um, I wanted to incorporate that because I feel like it just fits my brand so well and just so nice that it just makes everything just tied in together. And that would be it. Thank you so much for your time, and that's it.